This is the level 2 checkpoint video for episodes 7, 8, and 9. The current position is white to move. Try to find the best sequence in this position and write down your answer. You may stop the video now. Were you able to find the continuation in this position? So here we are thinking of the episodes 7, 8, and 9. We were covering checkmating 4, we were covering threats, and we were covering captures, right? So here we can try to be forceful with things, any checks, captures, attacks, right? So here the king just moved to g6, and if we're not precise, they can try to repeat moves and maybe consolidate at one point. It's kind of tough because our rook is also under attack, right? So here we have to be very forceful by finding the move h5 check. h5 check moves the king to only one square because we're covering here the whole row or rank here, the 7th and 5th rank. Only move for the black pieces going to h6. Here we have to be precise again with this move rook f7 f6, right? Rook f7 f6, because if we give the check with the other rook, they can try to capture with the pawn and then maybe like try to run away at one point if we're not precise, right? So here only move for the black pieces, and here we have to be precise again with this move h6 check. h6 check pushes the king back. It doesn't matter if they go to h8 or g8. The same response for the white pieces, just checkmating 1 because this pawn creates a back rank problem. The current position is white to move. Try to find the best sequence in this position and write down your answer. You may stop the video now. Were you able to find the continuation in this position? So here it is white to move, and we can think that or see that our rook is covering the whole 6th rank here, and then our queen is covering these squares for the king. So it's very hard to go for the king to go anywhere, right? Here we have to find a very nice move, c4. And you may be thinking, wait, they can just capture back with the queen, but they can't because the queen is pinned to the king, and because the pawn is defended by the queen, nobody can capture this pawn here, which is very tricky, a very tricky move, right? But it's nice because this pushes the king to c5, being very forceful, just giving them one square to work with. Here, we don't really have any other checks unless we want to bring the queen here, but they can just capture back the pawn. Okay, so we would just lose our threat there. Here we have to be precise with the move b4 check. b4 check makes it very forceful for the black pieces, so you only like go to one square. There's only one square available for them because the pawn is covering these squares here. So they would just capture back the pawn, and now we can move our queen to b3 check. The king has to go back to this square only. If they go to a5, they just get checkmated. But also if they go to c5, they also get checkmated as well by bringing the queen to b5. Checkmate. There are no squares for the king to go to. The current position is black to move. Try to find the best sequence in this position and write down your answer. You may stop the video now. Were you able to find the continuation in this position? So here they just attacked, or they're attacking right now, our queen, right? And it's kind of hard to go anywhere, to be honest. But the good thing is like we also have a bishop here attacking the knight, and through extra evasion attacking the queen. So the knight is kind of pinned, right? Because of the queen in the back. So here we have to be precise with the move e5. e5 has a couple of responses, well, more than a couple, but a couple like decent ones, I guess. So here, if they don't do anything, we would just capture the bishop, right? For no reason. Okay, so here, let's say what happens if they capture with the pawn, attacking our queen. Now we have to find the move queen takes d1. They have to capture back with the rook, and now we can just capture the knight that was pinned to the queen. Okay, so let's go back and see, okay, what happens if they capture back with the bishop? Now again, we can just capture back with the bishop. If the knight captures, you could just capture the queen, right? So what happens if the pawn captures again? Then if the pawn captures, again, same idea, just capture the queen, and then we're even attacking the rook as well, right? And we are up a minor piece in this position. The current position is black to move. Try to find the best sequence in this position and write down your answer. You may stop the video now. we're able to find the continuation in this position. So in this position, it is black to move, and we have to be very forceful, but it's kind of hard to have any checks, right? In this position, if we evaluate, have our checklist, we have any checks, captures, attacks, the only check that we have here is just by taking on c3. But that doesn't really do much, right? Because if we capture, they can capture back, and they still have this threat, and if we could try to give some checks, the king can just run away. So it is very tricky. But here we have to find this sequence. This is a little bit tougher puzzle, but hopefully this helps you for your future games, right? Okay, so we have to find the move rook takes b2. Rook takes b2. The idea of this is that if they capture our pawn, you have ideas of just bringing your queen in and giving a checkmate, hopefully pretty soon, right? So here they have to react to it. And we can also see that the queen is looking at the b8 rook. And there's a background problem that we have here. So we have to be precise, right? So they have, let's say, this move, rook takes b2. That's a top engine move, I think, for them. Let me make sure. Yeah, rook takes b2 is the best move for the white pieces. And here we can think, oh, we can just capture back, but then that's it. The thing is, like, if we capture back, they can capture back, and there's always a background problem for us, right? So here we have to do an in-between move. Queen takes c3 check. Very forceful. Now we're threatening. If they don't do anything about it, we can just capture this. We check maybe if they go to this square, that's just checkmate. If they go here, we're like coming in, right? So here they can just defend by blocking the queen with the rook and attacking the queen. But here we have this move, queen a1 check. And now we're seeing the rook here in the back, the other rook in the corner here. And we got rid of a pawn and stuff like that. So only forced move for the white pieces. And here, if we capture this rook, we would just lose to checkmate. So we have to be careful here, right? We need to be precise. Forceful moves all the time. Boom. Rook d8 check. Now, if they cover with the queen, we can just capture back and with the queen, anything, right? So here, they just move the king away, and now we can just capture the rook in the corner. The good thing about this position is that we have 5 pawns versus 3 pawns, and this pawn is very weak. And here, as we capture this rook in the corner, this rook cannot really capture this pawn because we're defending it, right? And if the queen comes here, maybe to like attack our rook, we can always just bring our queen here and defend our rook and creating a battery for a bigger threat later on. The current position is black to move. Try to find the best sequence in this position and write down your answer. You may stop the video now. We're able to find the continuation in this position. So here it is black to move. They just moved the bishop here because we gave a check, and then they just protected with the bishop. But here we have a nice sequence of moves that can just win us the game. So here we have to find a very precise move, queen d2 check. And you may be thinking, wait, they can just capture the queen. But they can't, because the bishop is pinned to the king because of the rook, right? So here, the only move that they have is king f1. And here we have to be precise again with the next move by finding bishop d3 check. And they have 2 responses. They can actually just cover up with the bishop and then just lose the bishop like this. And if they go back, we just give a checkmate. But we have another response as well, that whenever we give a check with the bishop, they can just move back to g1. But they're not safe because that's just checkmate in 1 here by bringing the queen here to e1. The current position is white to move. Try to find the best sequence in this position and write down your answer. You may stop the video now. We're able to find the continuation in this position. So here we have to evaluate the position and know that the black king is very unsafe, right? It's very hard to deal with. And it's white to move. The good thing is that it's white to move, because if it was black to move, they will probably just capture our bishop here, and if we capture, they have some discover attacks, right? So here it's white to move, fortunately for us. And we have to find a very precise move, very tricky, but very precise. Rook g4, sacrificing the rook in a couple ways, right? But what happens, let's say, if you sacrifice the rook and you capture the rook back with the queen? So first of all, the knight's hanging. But not right now. We have to do a very forceful move in between, which is queen f7 check, or queen takes f7 check. and we're coming in, right? Only move for the black pieces will be going to the corner to h8, and now we just capture back with another forceful move. Bishop takes f6 check. The only response for them is just to give up the queen and then just give a checkmate to them on the spot, right? So here we have a couple of responses, right? So here we either give a checkmate or we win a bunch of material. If they capture the rook with a knight, we can just capture the queen. And then if they capture back, that is very hard, very tough for them, because now we're just coming in with moves like this, right? So if they go over there to h8, we just give a checkmate in 1. If they go to h6, we can try to find, I think there's like a checkmate in like 11 or 12 or something like that. But we are up material here, and we have the big threats here coming in, right? So we have to find those crucial moves and in between moves if they have a different response from what we were expecting.